Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. This is Alaka here for EP Creative Media and I'm back with a brand new video. It's literally been a while since I have done one of my Sims news videos and I'm a little bit excited about this particular news update after the Sims Summit, or behind the Sims Summit as they call it. However, before I continue, I just want to say to those who are a little bit surprised about this channel, it is a hopefully backup channel of my original channel if I can manage to retrieve my previous channel, which will make this one a backup channel. If that does not work, we shall just carry on and this will continue being the main channel. And so with that said, if you are not subscribed yet on the channel, please do not forget to click on that subscribe button, give this video a thumbs up, and of course leave your comments down below and share the video to as many people as you like. And so without further ado, let's get right into the Sims Summit. And so for the most part, obviously there was a lot of talking but not much going on, I will not lie. So for me, I personally was not really that interested in that part. The parts that actually interested me were the mentioning of early concept development, you know, as well as announcing 2 expansion packs. Now that for me is definitely what caught my attention, because I was like, okay, so we're not getting 1 but we're getting 2 expansion packs. And so as I was watching, I decided to watch intently. I'll be honest, I had to rewatch to kind of like, you know, see exactly what it is that these expansion packs might possibly be. And so that's when it reached on this particular section where it was you know, we've got this where they mention basically the new world. As you can see on this basically screen grab, screenshot, or freeze frame, whatever you want to call it, we see 2 pictures, right? And the one on the left, I can't fully tell where this is supposed to be. It feels a little bit generic to me, so it's hard to kind of figure out. However, the one on the right looks like San Francisco, because it's got like the San Francisco bridge going on, like the pier, you know. So that one seems very interesting. I don't know if those are, obviously these are supposed to be the 2 expansion packs, right? So I'm assuming the one on the left is somewhere else, it's a whole different world, and then obviously the one on the right is also a whole new different world. These are obviously early concepts, you know, development, so it's hard to kind of like, you know, break this one down. To be honest, I can't figure out. I don't know if anyone else is able to figure out. There is something else I actually forgot to mention, which is the 2 rooms that they also showed us. These are obviously showing us some new build buy items, I'm assuming, and again also assuming they're from the 2 different expansion packs. One of them obviously is of a bedroom and the other is of a kitchen. And it's quite interesting because these are actually really nice. They seem really different from what I am accustomed to seeing when it comes to build buy items. I don't know if this is a collaboration with a CC creator, or this looks good because it's concept art. I'm actually not so sure because it kind of looks almost like CC but Maxis Match CC, and so I'm intrigued by that as well. So I don't know what you guys think. And then on the next picture they went and showed just one cast picture of a bathing suit. Okay, what I initially thought was a bathing suit, but now it seems like underwear and bra. I'm honestly not sure, you know, but whatever it is, it's new. I've never seen it before in the game. In addition to that, I see obviously a new chair, and then I see some decor items, right? Some decor items. I do love the little makeup kind of thing, you know, it looks like for teens. And again, I could be wrong with these, although I think these are all new, coming in the new expansion packs, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, that is what kind of caught my eye. And obviously for me, there's only like, I think 2 major things that caught my eye the most, which I'm going to get to in a moment. So basically, where did they go? When they had the vice president, is it the vice president? I think she's a VP, Leslie or something. She basically is the one that kind of made the two big announcements, yeah. And she basically spoke about um, the Sims 4 pairing up or partnering up with Overwolf, and basically to create a much safer, as they call it, a much safer platform for CC creators. And so that piqued my attention, definitely. And I was like, okay, a much safer destination for custom content creators? What does this mean? So basically, if you look at Steam, for example, right? Steam is for PC. And Steam, people can create custom content within Steam, which makes it easier to download. It makes it easier. There's less issues when it comes to updates, etc., that sort of thing. I'm not sure if this is similar to what they are doing in regards to them partnering up with Overwolf. I don't know. But what did cross my mind was that, does this mean that people on console are going to have access to custom content? And if so, if this platform is a safe space for CC creators, is it only for Maxis Match CC creators, or does it include alpha CC creators? If it's a platform that's going to only permit Maxis Match, what happens to alpha CC creators? And in addition to that, with this platform being created for CC to be so-called, in a safe space, etc., what happens to CC that's, I don't know, what happens to the downloads that are downloaded from Patreon, downloads that are downloaded from individual people's websites, etc., that sort of thing, and it got me thinking, right, about the announcement that they made where they were enforcing the rule where people shouldn't have to put paywalls, etc., that sort of thing. Do you think this is part of that, to ensure that nobody is putting custom content behind paywalls so that it remains free for all players? So which means there won't be such a thing as early access and things like that. I would really love to know how they're going to kind of manage that. And I would also love to know when they're planning on implementing this, because it seems a partnership that's already in the works, which means we should expect this to be happening anytime soon. And by soon, I mean, is it going to happen before we get into 2023, or are all these changes going to be happening after we get into 2023? I'm a little bit curious about that, And then they went on to talk about introducing the plumb bob. And so again, this one kind of had me confused, I will not lie. Okay. And so when they were talking about the plumb bob, basically they showed a bunch of plumb bobs playing, kind of like evolving. Obviously, this is based on plumb bobs from the old versions of The Sims all the way to the current one. And so I was looking at the one on the screen. I was like, okay, is it different? But then I noticed one that looks a little bit more like softer. I said, okay, is that the one, or was that the original one? And then the one that so it just kept on changing. So I'm a little bit confused. Are we going to be able to change the plumb bob? Which is the new plumb bob? I need someone to help me out, because I really can't tell what new plumb bob is. I might have a look through at the website and maybe see what it is, if there is something in particular that I might have missed in regards to the plumb bob, because I can't figure it out. I honestly can't figure it out, because then shortly after that they introduced an artist by the name of Anita, and I never heard of her. I don't know who she is. But they introduced her, and I thought maybe she was going to have a plumb bob, and there was one of her dancers, I think, or something in the background had a plumb bob on top of their head, and I said, okay, is that the plumb bob? And I was like, I am so confused right now. Which one is the plumb bob? Help me out here, So I would really love to know what that is. But for me, honestly, that is not a major thing. I can leave it, what I mean? I can take it or leave it, basically. And then obviously they went on to announce what I could only say, is The Sims 5, possibly. and this one is actually being called Project Renee. Project Renee, I don't know if it's a working title or that's what they call, like when things are in development, they'll always have a project A, B, C, D, whatever, and then when it's officially out, they've got the official name for it. So I can only assume that this is possibly The Sims 5. And what I noticed from Project Renee, obviously one of the things that people absolutely love, that I would love to have as well all around, especially in build by as well as cast, is to have a color wheel, because there you have more flexibility when it comes to design. But also I noticed that the UI was different. The UI was very, very different. I'll be very honest, it's kind of reminiscent. It feels very Paralives-y because I do follow Paralives, and this aspects about it that felt like Paralives, but obviously a little bit more advanced. And so that was kind of interesting. With that said, I'm not complaining, because at the end of the day, if they're going to make everything a lot more customized, if they're going to make things a lot more customizable, I'm not going to complain about that. I love the fact that you could change the swatches on the sofas, you could change like literally the patterns, etc., that sort of thing. You could add pillows and actually turn those pillows around. And this is what I'm talking about when I say it kind of gave me Paralives vibes, because the development of Paralives, as they've been showing us, they've kind of shown us concepts that are very similar to that. And so that looks like, it's going to be Sims 5, because she did mention specifically that this is something for the future, something we've never ever shown. She mentioned, I think, something, I'm paraphrasing, but she mentioned something along the lines of, we've never ever announced or shown anything that is years down the line in development. And that got me thinking like, oh, okay, so this is not Sims 4. Because when I looked at the UI, completely different, I thought, hang on, is this how the UI looks when they're developing? And then when she said years down the line, I said, wait a minute, which means this is The Sims 5. This is what it's going to look like once we get into The Sims 5. Unless they're planning on doing a complete overhaul for The Sims 4, which I doubt very much, because already when they make minor changes with the updates, it causes so many glitches and so many issues, so many UI issues, etc., that I doubt that they would be able to, this far gone into coding, to be able to do a huge an overhaul of The Sims 4. So which gives me that, yeah, it's definitely The Sims 5, and I am here for it. And obviously, as their final announcement, basically they talked about, not really talked about, they basically showed us a baby crawling. And I'll be very, very honest, I was aghast in a good way. My jaw actually dropped. Okay, rarely will we say, oh my gosh, my jaw dropped, and your jaw technically literally did not drop. And I mean, obviously it didn't drop to the floor, but if you know what I mean, I gagged. Like, oh, I was absolutely like, oh my gosh, finally, we're no longer going to have objects for babies. We're actually going to have functioning babies. And I know I just made them sound more like objects by calling them functioning, but babies that are actually crawling and cooing with a full head of hair and rolling backwards on themselves, and the mom picking them up and actually have emotion about them. I was like, oh, thank goodness. And then I saw expecting 2023. I was like, great. So we have to wait 2 months more or 7 months more, because it says 2023, but it doesn't say when. So we could be waiting till the end. Till the end of 2023, which I'm hoping not. I'm hoping we're going to have them at the very beginning of 2023, because I think people are going to get very, very impatient. With that said, with the amount of glitches that occur every time we have an update, I'm hoping that they've tested this and tested it and tested it and tested it and tested it and tested it, because it will be an absolute nightmare and disappointment if they finally introduce babies that are actually babies and not objects, and then people are facing so many issues, just like they had with wedding stories, you know, the wedding pack. There were so many issues and glitches with that one, and people were so excited for it, but the glitches were unbearable, you know, to the point where people were not able to play their games for a while. So we're hoping that's not going to be the problem, you know. And so yeah, that kind of comes to the end of my little review of what I thought of Behind the Sims Summit event. I'll be very honest, apart from the pointers that I made, everything else for me was just fluff. I did not see the purpose of all the extra bits and pieces. I just wanted them to get to the point and give us the news, because they made so much noise about the Sims Summit, Behind the Sims Summit, that I honestly don't know what I was expecting. I think maybe I honestly don't know. You know, I'm gonna lie if I try to say, oh, I was expecting cars and no, I don't know what I was expecting, but I know I was expecting more in terms of things that were going to be announced, in terms of what we were going to have in game, what was going to be included in the game, what was going to be delivered to us. And so yes, the main point for me, obviously, like I said, what stood out was the fact that they're working on Sims 5. It was interesting to see that, you know, but that doesn't affect us just as yet, so it's, you know, it's whatever. And then the babies was, honestly, the biggest news was the babies. I saw in the comments someone said, I think, they said, well, was that it? That could have been an email. It's true. This could have been an email. It literally could have been an email. There's been so many patch updates that have had a lot more detailed information than this video that they made for Behind the Sims Summit. That's all I can say, you know. But I mean, thank you to the team for the effort, but like, yeah, you know. The presentation, it was not giving. The presentation was not giving. It was cute, it was colorful, it was bright, but it was not giving in the sense that we just wanted to get to the point, to be honest. I am excited for the babies. I look forward to the babies. What do you guys think? Leave your comments down below. And of course, do not forget to click on that subscribe button if you are not already a subscriber of my channel. And of course, give this video a thumbs up and share the video. Otherwise, from me, it's take care and goodbye.